Come in. Hi. You're Leslie?
Yes.
Okay, Leslie, why don't you just have a chair there? I just got your application and reviewed it a little bit. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what your current situation is. And is this your first contact with vocational rehabilitation?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the best thing at this point then is to give you just some background in what we're all about and so forth, okay? This is the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. We're with the state of Wisconsin. We're an organization that works with people that are eligible for our services, okay? Now, eligibility is based upon, number one, having a medically substantiated condition, and two, that condition has interfered with your ability to obtain or retain employment. I know that sounds like a lot of bureaucratic gobbledygook, but we'll talk a little bit more about it, okay? Now, what we do initially is, you fill out an application here, and we'll go over the application, and I'll be asking you questions about your current status. Now, our program here is tailored to meet the individual needs of the person who's applying for services. Each person is a little bit different, but I hope you understand that we're focused on work, not in the sense of an employment service, but more in the sense of maybe a specialized employment service where career planning and vocational sorts of objectives and evaluation of just what you can do vocationally is important.
Do you pay medical bills? I heard that you pay like medical bills.
Okay.
Well,
you have a lot of medical bills. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
I
talk a
don't
little
have
bit.
insurance.
I see. We'll talk a little bit about that today.
Okay.
We are not like public assistance service or Social Security, where we, a person's entitled to all medical bills paid or whatever. The financial services that we do provide are in line with the specific vocational objective or training period if you're found eligible for our services. Now, during the eligibility period, we'll be evaluating your medical condition. By that I mean we'll be getting reports from physicians that you've seen or any other doctors, or if you've been hospitalized, and our medical consultant will review that. Now, if we need to develop more information to substantiate your eligibility, we'll be able to pay for some medical visits for you. But it's in line with that program, you see.
There's a lot of medical bills, and I just don't know how we're going to pay them. And somebody told me that you take care of those things.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what to do because I don't have insurance because I have a lot of problems.
Okay. How do you understand what I've said just recently? No.
That you try to take care of some of the medical bills?
We take care of medical bills if the medical bills occur during the course of our program. And also, we pay for medical evaluation. I understand you're feeling a little bit uptight and, about the medical bills right now.
Yes, I go in about every month, almost every week sometimes.
Well, there's different ways of dealing with that situation right now. Have you applied for any sort of medical assistance through Dane County?
No, my husband makes about $850 a month.
Oh, he does. Okay.
We just don't have enough for insurance. And besides, nobody would insure me. I have a heart murmur.
You do? Okay. Have you seen a doctor about that heart murmur?
Yeah, a while ago, not recently.
And have you checked out any insurance benefits?
We checked out one at American Family Insurance, but it was like $94 a month, and we just can't afford that at all.
Well, as we get to know each other more and as we talk, there are some other possibilities where you might be able to pick up some insurance.
Okay.
One place that comes to my mind immediately is the Group Health Cooperative, and that's located in the same building here on the third floor. Well, that might be a possibility. I know it's less than $95 a month. If your husband is making $850 per month, does he get any sort of insurance with the company that he's with?
No, he's a janitor for, well, like a maintenance man at this the apartment building we live in. But I don't know, we looked into insurance on it, but I don't know, I think there's just something, he just doesn't like insurance or something, I don't know.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, we talk about insurance, but yet, we just don't get it. I just think he just doesn't like insurance.
Well, maybe he just isn't really sure where to go right now for insurance. And it is, expensive, but, there are some possibilities. And like this group health co-op might be a possibility to check into.
Okay.
But today,
how much is that a month?
I'm not really sure. You can find that out by calling them. And you can talk this over with your husband. Next time we meet, we can talk a little bit more about that. Okay?
Okay.
Right now, I think it's important that we talk a little bit about our agency and the programs that we have here and what we're about. Okay? Now, as I said before, we're vocational rehabilitation, and that the important part of our program is where you're at right now vocationally, where you want to go job-wise, if there is some training that you're interested in, and how we might be able to facilitate that. Okay.
Right now I'm at MATC.
Okay. What type of program are you in at MATC?
Secretarial. I wanted to take medical secretary, but it took too long. I didn't want to take that long. So I just take like a medical course.
Okay. And let's see, how long have you been in the program?
This is my first semester.
First semester?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many credits are you taking right now?
Right now I'm taking 18.
That's a big load.
Yeah, I just don't know how. I'm really having a hard time keeping up. There's just so much to do. I'm not doing very well grade-wise either. These books, the teachers just don't understand. They just give you all this work and they don't even help you with it. And plus, I'm sick like almost one day a week, so I miss the assignments and I try to call the teachers up and they just don't give me, they don't ever tell me the assignments in advance. I try to get them in advance and then the next day I come in and I'm behind in that.
So this has been going on now for quite a while.
Yeah.
Sort of in the midterm of the semester. Yeah. How did you find out about us?
I just heard some people tell me about DVR.
So you were sort of interested then in applying for services to help with
I think I tried in the beginning to have DVR pay my tuition, but they wouldn't do that. So
who did you talk to here?
I don't know what it was, but I guess maybe it was too late in the semester or something, or the year to have.
So you never had really an interview like this with the consulate? Okay. Let's see. How did you decide to get into this clerical program?
Well, I wanted to do something like in a medical kind of a thing, and I wanted to do something like in admissions because I like medical stuff. I was in nurse's aid training at MATC in Milwaukee.
Okay. How long were you in that program?
A year.
And did you successfully complete that program?
No.
Okay. Can you tell me what kinds of things happened?
I got married and I came to Manhattan.
So you moved and then dropped out of the program. How were you doing in that program when you were in it?
I liked it.
How were you doing grade-wise?
Good.
Good? Okay. You seem a little hesitant about talking about it. Did you experience some bad times when you were in that program?
Well, every time I work around sick people, I get sick. So I just thought I'd go into the secretary program and see if I can be like admissions.
But you still like being in the medical field?
Yeah, I like it, but if you want to do something in the medical field, I just found out it just takes too long. And I have like an A going in my medical technology class, and like an A going in typing. But other things like word processing and like basic math, I'm just doing really terrible in. Like D's.
I think what we should do first is talk a little bit about your vocational background and a little bit about the program right now, okay? That you're in school, and then about our services and what maybe we can work out. I'm looking at your application here. I see that you've worked as a nurse's aide for about 3 different places: Madison Care Center, Southside Nursing, and UW Health Center. What was the longest period you ever worked as a nurse's aide?
At the UW Health Center.
Okay. And that was about for about 6 months there. How did you like working as a nurse's aide?
I liked the medical part of it, but like physically I couldn't take it because if somebody had the flu, I get the flu. If somebody had a cold, I get a cold. When it was just too physical. Work, we had to lift a lot of stuff and things like that. With my heart murmur, I just
had trouble with that.
Physically.
Have you seen a doctor currently regarding the?
I don't have a doctor for that in Madison.
You don't. Okay.
I see somebody for my eyes and nose and ears because I have been having some problems with my nose and ears. And then I saw my gynecologist, and that's all the doctors I have here.
Okay. Would you be interested in if we would set up an evaluation for your heart murmur, participating in that evaluation?
Would I have to pay for it?
No, we would take care of that. One of the reasons that I think it would help for a couple different reasons. One reason is that we'd be able to both find out what your limitations would be in terms of lifting and so forth with the heart murmur. And the other thing, it would probably be advantageous in determining eligibility. Just in giving us more information about that. Okay, you said you had trouble with your nose and ears. What kinds of things have you had difficulty with?
I had take penicillin,
So you had an infection?
Yeah, I have lower hearing in one ear. Or I can't hear very well out of one ear, and that just made it worse when my nose got plugged up and stuff like that. And I was sick 3 days. I really missed a lot of school then.
Yeah.
I just got really.
Is that a consistent thing that you experience?
Yeah.
The limited hearing in your one ear?
Right.
But at the times when you have the infections, do you have them quite a bit?
I get sick pretty much.
At those times, is the hearing loss more significant?
Yeah.
How well do you hear right now? Are you hearing me fairly well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can hear my conversation.
Yeah, it's just a little bit in one ear. It's nothing.
It might be something that we want to look into too for evaluation purposes, just to see, what sort of limitations you have. But it sounds like you're hearing me okay at this point.
Yes.
Okay. So you worked, a few nurses' aide jobs there, and I see that you left one because you were ill. Another one, you said you had a cold and went to Florida.
Yeah. I was told, my doctor said if I got in warmer weather, it'd go away, but it didn't.
Did you work down in Florida?
No.
So you went there for vacation? Or?
Yeah, a couple
of weeks, okay. And then you left because you became pregnant. That was in May of 78?
No, I had my baby in December 78. 77. Yeah.
Okay.
And she died of crib death a month later.
So that was about a year ago.
So every time around that month, around the 20th, it's just really hard for me to study too.
That's in the fall then?
Well, every month around the 20th.
Around the 20th every month?
Yeah.
It sounds like this is a real sensitive area for you to talk about. Do you have trouble talking with me about that right now? Or?
Well, it was our first baby, and I was looking forward to it. We got married in November, and I had the baby in December, and Yeah, my husband's taking it okay, but it still really bothers me.
It sounds like every month you experience some difficulty.
Yeah.
With it.
We're trying to have another baby. So, I don't know. I'm really happy with that. My husband, Tom, doesn't think. He doesn't know. He wants me to go to school and finish school and have a baby, but I think I'd like to have a baby. So I think that'll help.
So you're having sort of like kind of a little conflict there with your husband?
Yeah.
He wants you to finish school?
Yeah. He wants me to finish school, but I think he still would like to have another baby around too.
Are you able to talk with him about that?
Well, it's real hard for me to talk about without crying. And well, sometimes he's pretty okay about it, but he doesn't like when I cry at all, and I cry a lot because that's just the way I am. If something upsets me, I cry a lot, and he kind of hits me if I cry. So I try not to cry, but it's really hard because Tracy, she'd be a year old, or almost a year old today.
He hits you when you cry?
Yeah. So I try not to cry.
How bad does he hit you?
Oh, he doesn't hurt me.
How do you mean that? Does he bruise you, or?
He just slaps me. But I've learned something. I tried to take karate, but that didn't work. So now I learned when I was wrestling with my brother when I was little that if I bit him, he'd get off me. So I bite him in the shoulder, and then he leaves me alone.
Sounds like you're going through some real physical conflict there.
Oh no, it's not that bad.
But it also sounds like it's hard for you to talk about these kinds of things with him. Do you have anyone else that you can talk to?
He's getting better.
He's getting better? Oh.
Yeah.
How do you mean that?
Well, now he I think he's missing her too, and he'd like me to have a baby later on too.
But that's sort of in conflict with the school program right now.
Yeah.
I guess I'm, kind of concerned with, do you have someone to talk to about these things? It sounds like you have a lot going on with you, and you have a lot of pressures with the 18 credits. You're doing good in some classes, and some classes are not so good right now. And it sounds like you're a little overwhelmed with everything.
Yeah, I have a lot to do. Yeah.
Do you have any friends that you can talk with?
Well, we moved from our last apartment, and our phone is unlisted because we get some weird calls, so we don't list the phone calls. But, there's this lady across the hall, and she just had a baby. And then a lady down the hall has a couple kids. It just seemed like after Tracy died that nobody called me.
Well, have you sought out, any sort of counseling with the doctor?
Well, I was involved with this group called SID.
What does that stand for?
The Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. And a dentist and his wife run it. I guess they had a child die, like my Tracy died, and that we haven't met since April.
Did you find that the group was beneficial to you? Did it help?
Yeah, there was like 6 people, and I just talked about it, but it hasn't met since April.
Do you miss getting together and talking to people?
Yeah, I like that.
I think that, it sounds like it was of some benefit for you to talk with people about the kinds of things that are going on with you. I think that it's been my experience that when people, have some difficulties, that sometimes just talking to someone about them helps to sort it all out. It's like right now, from what I hear from you, you've got a lot of things going on with yourself.
Yeah.
You've got, a lot of credits, the 18 credits, not really sure about, whether you want a child or not, having some difficulties in talking with your husband about what you want to do in the future, about having children or, going to school and having some financial problems too. These are all major kinds of things, I think, that people feel. And I guess I have a recommendation that there's a clinic in town. It's called Dane County Mental Health Center. And they have a fee schedule that's set up on the basis of what people can afford to pay. They're a public and also a private nonprofit agency. And by getting some funds through the state or whatever, they can give people special breaks in the sense of fees.
So I mean I wouldn't have to pay for it?
Well, you would have to pay, but it would be a sliding scale. It might be like $1 or $2 a visit. And
okay.
I think it would be very good, maybe before the end of our meeting today. Well, not maybe. I definitely think it's important. And what I'll do is I'll give a call over there, and we'll set up an intake interview for you. And I'll also give them some information if it's agreeable to you about what your current situation is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Because I think it would be good, and it sounds like you're interested in doing that too. We'll have to fill out just a release form before we do that, but I'll explain those forms to you a little later.
When would we do this? Because this week is kind of busy for me. I'm going home to my parents' house and I have to bake cookies and stuff.
Okay. Well, we can set it up for the first part of next week.
Okay.
And then we'll meet right after that meeting. And what we'll do is we'll discuss a little bit more about the program. Now, the one thing that I want to talk with you about today, the first step, as I said, is determining eligibility. Okay. Now, you're in the school program right now, but it sounds like you're really not sure of where that's going. If you want to complete it, or if you want to continue with it. Is that true?
I have an appointment set up with my school counselor over there. I see him a lot, and he tells me just to come in if I ever have any. I want to talk to him about anything.
What's his name?
Mr. Smith.
Mm-hmm. You're going to see him next week?
Yeah. No, this week.
This week. Okay.
And, he knows that I'm taking a lot of credits and I'm having a hard time studying and doing all that stuff. So, I don't know, maybe I'll drop some credits.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to talk to him. Have you talked to him before about this?
I just go in and talk to him about school. But he knows that I have a lot of credits, so maybe I'll drop some. That's what I've been thinking of. Tom suggested that too.
Okay. It also sounds like you're sort of not sure about whether you want to continue next semester in the program. Is that true?
Oh, we are having a lot of money problems, so it is real important that I work and get some money coming in.
And the one thing that our agency can do is be another resource for you if you do decide that you want to go more towards jobs rather than continue in school next semester. It sounds like you have some financial problems. This is something that we can go into more next week. And after you talk with Mr. Smith, I think maybe you might want to tell him that you've talked to me. And if it's something that you agree to, maybe Mr. Smith could give me a call, or I'll call him after we talk next week.
If I went to school, I wouldn't be here then. I wouldn't come to DVR.
No, not necessarily. If you're found eligible for our agency and the program that you're in is something that, on the basis of our discussion, seems to be realistic, that you can do. There's, a chance that we may be able to participate in that program to some degree, financially and also in a vocational counseling sort of way. I guess, I sort of see the situation right now as one of maybe helping you, determine a decision that you want to make that's going to be good for you. Sounds like, you really have a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah. It's even harder around that time of month.
And I think seeing someone at the mental health center is going to be important. I think in checking out, a excuse me, you're just hearing some noise.
Okay.
We're doing some videotaping, excuse me. And excuse me for that interruption.